Actually, this was my answer to my first interview after walking the Twin Towers.
And up here at 1,500 feet, or in that area, there is somebody out there in a tightrope walk between the two towers of the World Trade Center, right at the tippy top.
I was handcuffed and I was going to jail and in front of the judge, but then the press sneaked in and they said, "So why did you do that?"
Why did you do this?
And I was shocked by that question. Why? I never thought why I did it, because I am a war walker and I fell in love with two towers.
There is no why. It's just because when I see a beautiful place to put my why, I cannot resist.
I wanted to do something inspiring and poetic and memorable. So why? So my English was very bad at the time, so I came up with this one-liner. Why? Well, because when I see three oranges, I joggle, and when I see two towers, I walk. First, everything that I did during those 8 improvised crossings was just improvised. I didn't plan. I mean, I planned to walk across, and then I will see what happened. So in one of those crossings, I got the urge to look down, because I thought, I mean, I have to, in my head, to photograph the scene. It's unique, it will never happen again, and actually the towers are gone, so it cannot happen again. So I sit down on the wire, and then I looked down around, and then I looked all the way down to the plaza, and I loved it. And it was amazing, because people were little ants, little dots, like I must have been for them, And I will never forget that picture that I took in my head of that scene. It was beautiful and frightening and unique. The high wire should be a stage. Now, of course, it's a very narrow stage and a dangerous one, which is good. You have to take your life very seriously. I don't want to risk my life. I never did. I never will. So I prepare for a high wire walk, and I plan my entire life, rehearsing. But that's what I would say to somebody who would like to learn. They said, follow your intuition. There are no really schools of wire walking. It's the most difficult art in the world, and it's the most easy art in the world. It's the art of walking, except they don't teach that in university, how to walk, right? People do that naturally. It has to be a very mysterious and very personal chemistry that you develop by intuition and by passion and by rehearsing and practicing all the time. I have a way of not so much forgetting the world around me, but filtering the world around me to just be on the wire in the best ways.
It started out as another routine morning for a New York helicopter traffic reporter, but he had more to tell his radio listeners than how the traffic was on the West Side Highway.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a very queasy feeling in my stomach right now.
It's very important in all the arts, in the art of living, to have a sense of focus, so you can really concentrate and do the best job in whatever you're doing.
Philippe Petit, a 24-year-old Frenchman, early this morning rigged a 140-foot steel cable between the two buildings using some sort of crossbow device.
Life is so beautiful, it should be enjoyed. And I consider this adventure, it was not me by myself, I was surrounded by friends and by friends of friends. I still consider it as the best moments of my life. I still do it, yes. I still have projects, professional projects all over the world. I have a very dear project of putting a wire on a mysterious Easter Island, which is populated by the sacred statue called Moai. And I would love to share my performance with the Rapa Nui, the inhabitants of the island. So that's a very dear project, but I have not yet, I must confess, met the patron of the arts who will sign the check to make that happen. So,
Maybe they'll watch this.
Yeah, well, it's by talking about it that sometime it will happen. It's still a center of my life, and it's a very hard profession, It takes a lot of organization and money to hire a wire walker to walk over a city, and yet I am ready to do that tomorrow morning.